My name is Umair Mohsin. I've lost almost 50 kg and I've grown my income over 100%.
Is it humanly possible to be the lowest performer at your job, be stressed out of your mind, burning the midnight oil, working super hard, and still being told to up your game? Otherwise, you're not good enough. To go from that to being the highest performer with the best increment, the bonus, the promotions, and lose almost 80 pounds of weight in the same time? Today, I'm sharing with you my client Umair's journey on how he completely, dramatically transformed himself. I mean, if you lost 80 pounds, you wouldn't look the same either. Completely reconstituted himself from a stressed out, overwhelmed person struggling in his job to a highly confident and successful businessman who not just performs the part but looks the part too. Hope you enjoy the video. Umair, welcome to the live. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you, first of all, for inviting me to the program. And hello, everyone. My basic designation is I'm in the banking industry, all right, but I try not to define myself that way. I think what I like more is I'm a gym enthusiast. I like to work out now, unlike some years ago, and I think I love coffee, which is something that I'm really crazy about. So more passion rather than just, okay, I'm a banker. I've also been in technology, blah, 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 the usual stuff. So yeah, that's how I usually define myself.
Brilliant. I would like to add that Umair is also a family man. He's a father, he's a husband, he's a son with the responsibilities that the son always has. With that said, Umair, this interview is about the meat and potatoes. It's about the magic formula. It's about the cool stuff that you did. That's what people want to know. So let's rewind and let's talk about what challenges you were facing before you joined the program, before we started working together. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
All right. Again, please understand, hindsight is always 2020. So one thing I would like to believe is that I learned from this program is I was my own worst enemy. And that is the truth. The biggest challenge in my life was trying to overcome my own self from getting in the way of my own successes. What that basically means is, I know it's very easy to say it now because 5 years ago, maybe the self-awareness was lacking. What I was doing is because of, let's say, ingrained belief and thoughts, I was sabotaging my relationships, especially in business, which now I know I can do it. I wish I had done it a lot better now. I was sabotaging my business relationships. I was sabotaging my social relationships. I was physiologically very unfit. I think one of the pictures that you put up explained a lot of things. Basically, I think one of those things, which again you learn over time, is I don't think I liked myself. I think that was something I realized now. I don't think I liked myself then. And as far as the biggest challenge is concerned, it wasn't just self-confidence or trying to talk better or maybe communicate better or maybe just earn a higher income. I think it was just trying to master yourself, just trying to like yourself. I think initially, I think for me that was the biggest challenge, because once I started on that journey, I actually realized how many things in my life I was sabotaging just because of that ingrained belief. Maybe it could be fear, it could be maybe I was just not good enough. So from there, I think, so to answer your question, I think long story short is the fact that just trying to like myself was probably one of the biggest challenges I had in my life, which I needed to overcome.
Got it. I love that, man. I think you nailed it. You hit the hammer on the head where you said, just not good enough. I'm just not good. So one belief I come across the spectrum of high performers. This is the one thing that professionals, high performers, business owners, doesn't matter what field they're in. If someone is doing a lot in their life and aiming for the stars, the one belief that they struggle with the most is, am I good enough? It happens to me every time I level up. I have the same belief come up again. All right, guys, you've never done this before. Are you sure you can do this? Anyway, this is about you. So let's talk about why you joined this program over everything else that's out there. Why did you choose to join this program?
I'm surprised you're even asking that question, because honestly, just look at you, man. Come on, seriously. I mean, even that's anyway, but okay, serious answer. Yeah, that. Okay, one thing, slight disclaimer. I have known Yaya for the last few years in a business relationship and even as a friend. And even as a friend, he's been probably one of my best friends. I'm lucky to call him my friend in my life. Albert, I also know that, especially when he turned pro, when he turned into a coach, I know the difference between what a friend can help you with versus what a coach can help you with, especially one who has this weekly performance review. That's how I put it. So you have to put in your best. You just cannot, you just cannot say, okay, fine, I'm going to watch this video and I'm going to go and meditate on something or the other in that video. But I've also seen, and when you say other programs as well, so yes, I have seen other programs. I've downloaded a lot of those videos. It's talking about all those awesome videos. But aside from a lot of motivation, okay, and this is something I've noticed. I don't know if it's true, but this is something I felt. Those coaching were very motivational. They're very inspirational. They make you question a lot of things, but it's not. It's usually not a path that person has followed. I've seen very few coaches and mentors whose programs the people actually have applied those teachings in their lives. Okay, and again, like I said, there is that disclaimer. I've seen his program work on himself as well. I've seen personally what I love most about is if he says do this, it's because he's done it before himself, and he's actually had success because of that result as well. So for me, I think that was one of the biggest, I think, yeses why I joined this program over some other motivational, maybe some international certified program. Because one, it applies to, I've seen the results in the person who is giving me the coaching. I've had practical, I think that's the word I'm looking for. I've had a practical overview of how it changes you. And most importantly, of course, which, like I said, I love the performance review. It keeps me on my toes as well, because I know I have to deliver a certain outcome. So again, three things. Like I said, could be wrong in there somewhere, but I personally, these are three things which I love most about the program. Yeah, of course, himself as well.
Thank you. Brilliant. Most people struggle with one of these things for years. A lot of people have struggled with weight for years. A lot of people have struggled with money for years. You hit, three major targets at the same time. Having said that, you experience certain outcomes, you experience certain results, you experience certain goals. How have those outcomes changed and impacted your life?
All right. Well, stating the obvious, more responsibility, more money. All right. Simple.
I like that. More responsibility, more money.
I mean, you add value to the organization, and certainly you're the next hot star. You're the right boy, and you're the one that everyone is coming to. Hi, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? So primarily, one thing which I think I forgot to add in here is I love the way how people have changed around me. And for me, being a slightly people pleaser even to some extent, I love the fact how you get more respect, you get more love, you get more support in every which way. And that for me is one of the best outcomes anyone can ever have, being part of something and being made part of something. And sometimes, like I said, you are the de facto leader, okay, without you even knowing it. It's like, where can you do this for me? Where can you lead this project? In fact, let me just add over here. It's one of the largest projects in my bank. I was requested, and this is not something I was aiming for. I was just aiming to be a part of the team. And one of the largest projects in the bank was literally my senior management literally said, "Why don't you lead the whole project end to end?" And I'm like, "So that's the old Umair sometimes come back." And I go like, "Are you sure?" Kind of like that. But again, part of me just stopped right there. Okay, fine, shut. Okay, if they think you're capable of it, that means you are capable of it. Okay, not the old. Okay, and he said, "I don't think I want it. Now let me get this one." So these are the ways that the outcome changes, and this is, like I said, I'm proud of that outcome. Having people actually having see you in a whole new light, seeing that you are a natural leader, de facto leader, being there for you, being supportive of you. And overall, I think one of the best outcomes I like is it's not just the money, it's not just the people, it's not even the increased responsibility or the bigger thing. I think happiness. I know it's one of those most overused words on the planet and sometimes the most maligned, but happiness and meaningful in life is sometimes more important than how many mansions do you have or how many cars you're driving or all that. And if you have that sense of calm and a peacefulness with life, All right, that one iota when you can wake up in the morning, smell the coffee, and go like, I think this is going to be the best day of my life. All right, it's as simple as that. I'm not talking about something grandiose like no, unless until left full power and something bad, something great will happen. Something as simple as that when you're literally happy in that one moment of having Colombian beans mixed with something like that, and you're really happy. That I think is probably the biggest major outcomes anyone can have, not just me. I think anyone can have. And that is something I credit, of course, you for changing that mindset, for feeling more grateful. I think that's the area that we need to look into, for feeling more grateful. Once you're grateful, suddenly life becomes much nicer to live. So, and like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean the bigger houses. Things. Sometimes just a cup of coffee is enough for you to be grateful about life.
Thank you for sharing that, man. I like how you're very humbly playing down the fact that you simultaneously made money and you lost weight. And I like how you're very, from a humility, coming from a place of humility and talking about truly big things that matter, because people don't get it. They think money makes you happy. They think losing weight. First, you be happy first. You be grateful first. You change your mind first, and then everything else follows. Seems to be the formula that you've been using very successfully, very well. Thanks a lot, Umair, for...
Thank you for the invite. I hope I added some value to the conversation.
You absolutely did. Thank you very much for sharing everything else. And boys and girls, this is basically it. We are talking about high performance in the spirit. You perform across the board. Thank you, Umair. Thank you, boys and girls.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it inspirational and insightful. Leave a comment down below and tell me what was the thing in Umair's journey that inspired and motivated you the most. I'm going to link another interview right here of another rock star that you can check out. And with that, I'm out of here. See you later, boys and girls. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.